Where's my mic? Hello. How's it going? Hi. Hi. Welcome to a new vlog. So here's the plan for this vlog. Basically, I thought that what I need to do is read some books. I know, reading vlog, that's what you would expect, right? Okay, well, here's the thing. I'm currently reading 4 books right now. And I'm at the point where I'm like reading a few pages of each one and bouncing between them, and I'm not getting anything done. And I need to. It's time. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna show you the 4 books I'm reading. I guess you're gonna follow me around. And then hopefully, by the time we're done, I'll be done with those 4 books. Oh my gosh. Let me know in the comments below if you juggle between books a lot, because yeah, that's something I tend to do. Hi. So, if you saw the footage at Barnes & Noble, first off, props to you if you find the beetle that was in my hair. If you find it, let me know in the comments below, because I didn't know it was there, and it was the sales associate who was actually, like, she told me, well, actually she didn't even tell me. She looked at me, and then she walked from around the register up to where I was standing just trying to purchase my books, and she was like, I don't want you to freak out, but there's something in your hair. And so of course I freaked out, and then she like swatted it, and we couldn't find it on the floor, but she said it fell. And yeah, so you might want to go back and find the bug in my hair, because it's definitely there. You can see it moving, and I'm pretty horrified, but it has not ruined Barnes & Noble forever for me. I don't know how I got a beetle, but it just appeared. All right, so here's where we are with where my reading's at. I am reading 2 physical books right now. So I am reading Bloom, the graphic novel by Kevin Panetta and Savannah Ganuccio. This is so cute. It's like a falling in love story with these 2 boys over the summer. One works in a bakery but doesn't want to, and then the other is an aspiring baker. It's super cute. The illustrations are like blue, like this. I'm not loving it as much as like I loved Sheets, the graphic novel, but it's good. And then I am also reading and loving I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. This is Maya Angelou's autobiography, very famous for a reason. Oh my gosh, besides just her life struggles, her writing style is so descriptive. I find it phenomenal. And then I am continuing with my study of Frederick Bachman's books by reading Britt Marie Was Here by Frederick Bachman on Scribd. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not liking it nearly as much as A Man Called Ove and Beartown, although I thought I would love it a lot. Not there yet, but maybe it will change. From what it looks like, it's gonna still be like a character-based novel. The thing that's throwing me off is like the town that Britt Marie goes to get a job. It's called Borg, and I don't get it. Yeah, I'm not sure if it has to do with the fact that I'm listening to the audio for some of it, and like it was a crazy day. I think I'm gonna have to go back and reread most of what I've read so far to really understand what's going on. But yeah, right now I'm thinking 2 stars, which is so sad, because you know how much I was thinking I love Frederick Bachman and I love his other books, but this one, I don't know. Okay. And then the last book I'm reading is a nonfiction book for the Blackout Buddy read. I am reading White Fragility by Robin DiAngelo, and am finding it incredible. I mean, just the one thing I'll tell you I've learned is how racism is more of like a systemized thing. Like to be considered racism, it'd have to be a part of like a system instead of just like an individualized thing. It's also been really enlightening to learn a lot more about white ideologies and how they prevail and keep Black people from advancing in the United States. So I'm loving that one and flying through it. Thought I was not recording. are the 4 books that I am currently reading, and I'll show you a quick haul as well. So when I was at Barnes & Noble with that beetle on my hair, oh my gosh, I got 2 books. I am loving reading nonfiction since I've started the Blackout Buddy Read, and it's something I haven't read in a while. So I picked up How to Read Literature Like a Professor, which is a book I've heard is so great. It's kind of like, well, it's like English class where we're thinking about symbolism and just how to look at books more critically. I would like to apply some of that to my future reviews, but also I just miss being in English class, and it's going to be so fun to kind of sharpen my toolbox skills on how to analyze literature. And also, this was a recommendation from one of you guys. I can't remember who, but if I find, I'll like put their comment down here, but you guys recommended Dear Mrs. Bird to me by A.J. Pierce, and it just was like calling out to me on the shelf, and I read like the first sentence and it was just funny to me. Like, I can tell it's going to be a funny historical fiction novel. So yeah, there are the books I'm reading. Now here's hoping I actually read them. Hello. So I finished reading Bloom. I really liked it. I would give it a solid 3 stars. So good, enjoy, and would recommend. And so I don't know if if I've told you, I don't think I have, but you've probably seen me talking about my thyroid issues that I have. And so I've gained a good deal of weight. And one way that I'm working to combat that, besides medicine, is doing Weight Watchers. So right now I am chopping up some tomato and green onion to put over some grilled chicken, and I'm going to have cauliflower rice and some black beans with it. So lots of protein. And I thought that while I chopped vegetables, I could tell you my thoughts on the book. Kind of appropriate, I suppose, since the book had to do with baking. And just, I'll get to wave my knife around, which will be very threatening and make you super uncomfortable. So, anyways, the main characters, Ari and Hector, are super cute and sweet. It's like a YA graphic novel, so there's the perfect amount of angst, and I like how it had to do with I like how it was a story about gay characters, but wasn't about coming out. It was about just kind of working in a bakery together and falling in love. There was a little bit too much angst for me, and I didn't really feel like I connected with the characters until we were almost 2/3 of the way into the book, but I liked it. There are some pretty dramatic moments, and there's also like this plot line of Ari's friends who are just really bad examples. And there are like some major jerk characters that I didn't like. But the best thing about this graphic novel, which I guess is what you would want with a graphic novel, is the art. Oh, I loved it. There are these like scenes where it's just pictures and it's like a montage of them baking and being cute and adorable. I loved that, and I guess that's the cool thing about graphic novels compared to books, is that you get that like art element. I think that the illustrator Savannah Ganuccio was like super talented in that regard. And yeah, overall I thought it was a cute graphic novel. It kind of was like Heartstopper, I suppose, but a little bit more relaxed. And yeah, overall, it was good. And I have also just finished chopping my vegetables that I will put over my chicken. So that means I have whittled it down to 3 books now, which is good. That is better than I was a couple hours ago. So we are 3 books done, and I think next I'm going to try to work my way through White Fragility, and also I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, because White Fragility is easy to fly through. Even though it's nonfiction, I find it very readable, and I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings is just fun. So that's what I'm doing. I read about 80 pages. Oh, I'm near the 100-page mark on I Know Where the Caged Bird Sings, and it is incredibly sad. Like, the things that happen really make me feel sick to my stomach. I feel so bad for our main character and her relationship with her family, and then the things that happen to her while she stays in her mother's house. It just feels like she doesn't really belong anywhere, and she's had to grow up so quickly. And I feel so sad for Maya. I also thought it was so sweet how her brother didn't say her name because her name was Margaret, so he just said my sister, Maya sister, and that's how Maya Angelou got her name Maya, from how her brother couldn't pronounce her name. I thought that was so sweet. But yeah, it's getting late, so I might read some more before bed, I might not, but that's my update for now. Hello, good morning. It's the next day. I am laughing because when I was younger, I went to a Church of God church for probably like 3-4 years of my life. And so, you know, there's a lot of like noisy worship that I was a part of. And Maya attended, like, she's attending a tent revival, and there's that similar level of like screaming and passing out, and it's just reminiscent of that part of my childhood, which is nice. One thing that's making me very sad is that the kids don't have their mother in their life, but they both really want her in their life. So Maya and her brother would go to the movies just to watch this actress who looked like their mother because they miss her so much. I am like so engrossed into this story, and it's strange because it is just like her autobiography. So I feel like there's no like major conflict. Like, there's not particularly like a plot as much as it just seems like vignettes of her life. And yet I'm learning so much, and it's so entertaining that I don't mind. Like, I couldn't plot diagram this, I guess, but it's still really good. So yeah, that's an update for you. Alright, so I thought now might be a good time to do a little bit of a reading update. I want to mention about Britt Marie Was Here. I'm not loving it. Like I feel like one of the things that I love so much about Fredrik Backman's novels are the fact that I relate to the characters, and I think that he writes really, at least if not relatable, like complex characters that I feel like I can have a connection with. But I am not feeling that way about the character of Britt Marie. Like, I feel bad for her, but I don't really like have that similar love that I had for Ove in A Man Called Ove. So I feel pretty bummed about that so far, and I'm worried that like I'm not going to like the whole book at all. So there's that, but there's still hope. All right, so we are at my parents' house celebrating my mom's birthday, and I'm just trying to get in as much reading as I can, along with like doing house things and present things and all sorts of birthday things. But so part of that is I am getting some reading done, or trying at least, and I am reading right now White Fragility by Robin DiAngelo. And that is what I've been focusing on today, because at the time of filming this, the Blackout Buddy read is in 2 days. And so when I started today, I was like on 30%, and now I'm on 50%. So really my priority is just finishing White Fragility, which means putting I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings and Britt Marie Was Here on the back burner, but I will get them done. At least I hope so. And yeah, that's where I am now. So here's hoping I get it done. The reason I am outdoors in Natureland is because I have decided that I'm going to sit outside and read White Fragility, because it is like no humidity o'clock in Georgia, which never happens. I even had a peach today, so I'm just feeling all of the Georgia pride, and I wanted to celebrate the happiness of being outside. But yeah, just spending time out here, because like I said, it's never this free of humidity in Georgia, and it's just really nice. So let's get to reading. All right, so the neighbor's dog is barking, Downton Abbey is playing in the next room, and I am at my old bedroom, actually at my mom's house, in my gym jams, and I have a cold. But I did want to do an update on Britt Marie Was Here, because I did a lot of driving back between my mom's house and my house in the town where I live. That's about 45 minutes away today. And so during that time, I got to read like an hour and a half of my audiobook of Britt Marie Was Here, and I'm starting to like it a little bit more. The writing style, I don't know, I feel like this book is like his first attempt at writing a book like A Man Called Ove. And so it just has lots of aspects where I just cannot connect. But there is this kind of sweet relationship that Britt Marie has formed with this little boy on a football team, which is soccer, I believe. And that's sweet, and it's nice to see different sides of Britt Marie. And she has been reunited with someone who was very important with her in the past, and so it's been very fascinating. Mainly just getting a character study of Britt Marie and her quirkiness and what has led her to kind of be the person she is, who is a person who has faced a lot of rejection and loneliness. It reminds me so much of A Man Called Ove, and like I said, I feel like it was Bachman's first attempt at writing a book like A Man Called Ove. But I do want to do a little bit of an update, and this is on my camera audio, so hopefully it's still like listenable. But I did finish reading White Fragility, and while I don't rate nonfiction books unless they have to do like specifically with my field, so like education or English, I found it so incredibly eye-opening. There are so many moments from that book that will just stay with me forever, and they're things that I should have already known. But one of the biggest ones is just the fact that racism is not like acts committed against others, but racism is like a system that we are kind of born into and we are a part of. So that was an interesting fact I learned. Another thing that sticks out to me is this idea of white tears, and how whenever it's our gut reaction and we get upset and we cry about racism, or or when we're accused of being racist and we cry, it's because we believe that we're like on this spectrum, and you're either a good person and not racist, or a bad person and racist. But that can't work because of the way that racism is a part of our society. So instead it's more of like a spectrum, and we just have racism built into us, but we can keep moving forward and trying to be better, even though we probably can never truly conquer our racism because it's on a societal level, which was just very enlightening. And overall, I'm so happy that I read the book. I have a cold, I'm a hot mess, but I had to give you an update. And so now I only have to finish Britt Marie Was Here and I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. So that's what I'll do. And that's it for now. Hello! So what is a reading vlog without a mini book haul? I'm gonna do this as fast as I can, but I did just go to Barnes & Noble again. Oh my gosh, that's the second time in this vlog. I have issues, but I've actually been sad lately and books make me happy. So anyways, I got 3 books. The first one was Laura Dean Keeps Breaking Up With Me, which is this graphic novel about, well, Laura Dean who keeps breaking up with this person, but I also believe it has to do with kind of toxic relationships, and the art is beautiful. Let's look at it. Yeah, so you can kind of get a glimpse of it this way. Sorry, I don't have my tripod, so this is like a mess. But I also got Black Girl Unlimited for Top Shelf Society, and I'm so excited to get started with this one. It's like a magical realism memoir that I've been wanting to read, and I just hear it's going to be like fantastical and moving, and I'm excited. And also I'm participating in Blackathon, where you read a book by a Black author that has LGBTQ representation. So I am reading You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson. So I'm going to be starting this one soon, even though this vlog is really only about finishing those 4 books, and I'm kind of starting another, so fun with that. But I actually have a ton of reading I have to do because I'm very close to finishing I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, so hoping to get that done as well. Alright, exciting update because I did just finish reading I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. And it's a 5-star read, 100%. I love basically everything about it. I mean, Maya Angelou is like one of the most renowned authors of all time, and I think that is clearly seen in this book. Her writing style is rich and descriptive, and she really like took the story of her life and turned it into what read to me exactly like a novel. I think that's one of the things I love so much about it, is that even though it was an autobiography, it really did read like a story. And I think those like disparate elements kind of came together, which really pushed it into being a 5-star read for me. I loved watching Maya grow up from a little girl to about like 16, 17-year-old. And like I felt like I really know her and experienced her life and all of her struggles, and it just makes some beautiful points. She talks about her experiences growing up as a Black woman in America, as well as the struggles that relate with that. For example, she really wanted to be like a bus driver, but she wasn't able to, and so she like worked and petitioned and finally got to be one of the first bus drivers in San Francisco. And I just really enjoyed it overall. The writing and the content. Maya Angelou is celebrated for a reason, and this book is beautiful. And with that being said, I only have 1 book left now to finish reading, and that is Britt Marie Was Here. So that's the plan. I've got about 10 chapters left, so there is hope on the horizon. We can do this. Hello! Well, can you guess what I did? I finally finished Britt Marie Was Here. It was really good. I gave it 3.75 stars and overall was really satisfied with it. So it's funny because it reminds me as if it were a combination of Beartown and A Man Called Ove, and the fact that it deals with like the importance and the community that kind of builds around a sport. In this case, it's soccer or football. And it also has to do with like loneliness and its effect. I didn't care very much at Britt Marie at the beginning, and so I think that's why, like, for a good part of the story, I didn't like it as much as I felt like I should have. But then I did start to really relate to her more and feel more sympathy towards her. And then the ending, Bachman gives us like a complete kind of ambiguous ending, so you can kind of make for yourself what happens, which I think is interesting. There were some really sad moments in it, but overall it's a story of Britt Marie like finding a new community for herself in this town called Borg, and the fact that it truly is never too late to start over in your life, which I think is a message that we sometimes always need to be reminded of, because Britt Marie felt so stuck and caught in her marriage and her life, like there was no other possibility for her. And you kind of deal with what it's like to be trapped in that and to be experiencing that, and then how you are able and the options that you are able to have to get out of that. But it's also a lot of Britt Marie building up the courage to make a choice to change her life. And normally that's where the crux of the matter is, right? Is in finding the bravery to take those chances. So overall, I loved Britt Marie so much, but it's not my favorite Bachman novel that I've read so far. I still think that A Man Called Ove and Beartown are absolutely tied, whereas Britt Marie Was Here is going to be the last, like 3.75. So I still think that we can say Frederick Bachman is probably my favorite author of all time. It's just that this one book kind of let me down. And with that, I accomplished my goal. I read those 4 books that I needed to and also started another book. So I've got more reading to do, but because of that, we're going to end this vlog here. So if you liked this video, be sure that you hit the like button. In the comments below, let me know how do you handle when you're reading more than one book at a time? Does it mess you up and you feel like you need to get through them, or is that just your natural way of life and you're okay with it? Let me know if you're currently reading more than one book at the same time right now. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I post new videos every Wednesday and Saturday. That's going to be it for now, book flowers. Thanks for stopping by. Bye.